Tune in to Sports 360 with Ahmed Hamad.
On the second day of the ICC World Test Championship final between South Africa and Australia at Lord's, Australia in their second innings were 144 for the loss of 8 wickets. They now lead by 218 runs with 2 wickets in hand, with Mitchell Starc batting on 16 along with Nathan Lyon, who's batting on 1. Earlier, South Africa, in reply to Australia's first innings score of 212, resumed their first inning at the overnight score of 43 for 4, but they had a partnership of 64 runs for the 5th wicket of 114 balls between Temba Bavuma, the captain, and David Bedingham. Temba Bavuma contributed 34 of 48 balls and David Bedingham 24 of 62 balls. From 4 for 30 with 64 runs 5th wicket partnership, they took their total to 94 in the 40th over, where the captain Temba Bavuma was the 5th man to go after scoring 36 of 84 balls with the help of 4 fours and 1 6, and he was caught by Marnus Labuschagne of the bowling of Pat Cummins. The other significant partnership for South Africa is for the 6th wicket of 32 runs of 75 balls between David Bedingham and Carl Wariner, and David Bedingham 17 and Carl Wariner contributed 13 in the partnership, and they took their total from 94 to 126 in the 52nd over, where they lost their 6th wicket. The wicketkeeper batsman Carl Wariner was the 6th man to go after scoring 13 from 39 balls, and he was legged before by Pat Cummins. Then the flurry of wickets. South Africa lost their last 5 wickets for just 12 runs. From 6 for 126, they were bundled out for 10 for 138. They lost their 7th wicket of Marco Jansen in the 52nd over at 126, and Marco Jansen could not even open his account, and he was caught and bowled by Pat Cummins. South Africa lost their 8th wicket 9 runs later, and David Bedingham was the 8th man to go in the 56th over, and he scored 45. He is the highest scorer for South Africa, 45 of 111 balls with the help of 6 fours and with a strike rate of 41. He was caught by wicketkeeper Alex Carey of the bowling of Pat Cummins. 3 runs later, 2 back-to-back wicket 9th and 10th fell. 9th wicket of Keshav Maharaj in the 57th over, and he was run out by Alex Carey for 7, while the 10th and final wicket fell at 138 as well in the 58th over, and last man to go was Kagiso Rabada after scoring 1, and he was caught by Bio Webster of the bowling of Pat Cummins. Lungi Ngidi remain unbeaten without scoring. So South Africa were all out for 138 in 57.1 over, thus conceding a lead of 74 crucial runs. For Australia, the captain Pat Cummins stole the early headlines when he became the first visiting captain to take a fifer at Lord's, and then went on to pluck his 300th test wicket. Then it was over to Kagiso Rabada and Marco Jansen, who had Australia 44 for 3 before Lungi Ngidi, back in test side after 10 months and coming off a poor first innings, redeemed himself with 3 wickets in a 9-over spell that broke Australia. Looking at the Australian bowling performance, Mitchell Starc, 13 overs, 3 maiden, 41 runs and 2 wicket. Then Josh Hazlewood, 15 overs, 5 maiden, 27 runs and 1 wicket. Pat Cummins was the pick of Australian bowling, 18.1 over, 6 maiden, 28 runs and 6 wicket. Then Nathan Lyon, 8 overs, 3 maiden, 12 runs and no wicket, while Bio Webster bowled 3 overs and gave away 20 runs without taking a wicket. Taking a significant 74 runs lead, Australia resumed the second inning, but the batting conditions were not ideal and ball started to jag around. Although the openers survived 10 overs, but Australia lost the first wicket at 28, and that is of Usman Khwaja. His poor form continues, and he scored 6 of 23 balls, caught by Carl Wariner of the bowling of Kagiso Rabada. And then they lost the second wicket. Back-to-back 2 wickets, 28 for 2. In the same over, Kagiso Rabada gets his second wicket, and Cameron Green was caught by Van Mulder of the bowling of Rabada without scoring. He faced 2 balls, but he was not being able to score a run. In the 18th over, the third wicket fell at 44, and Marnus Labuschagne, who made 22 of 64 balls, was out, and he was caught by Carl Wariner of the bowling of left-arm fast bowler Marco Jansen. Then the fourth wicket at 48. Stephen Smith, who scored a 66 in the first inning, was out after scoring 13 of 25 balls, and he was legged before by Lungi Nigiri. Although umpire did not give him out, but the review shows and he was out. So he was declared out after scoring 13. This fifth wicket at 64. Beau Webster, who made 72 in the first inning, was out after scoring 9. Again, leg before by Lungi Nigidi. The sixth wicket at 66. 2 runs later, Travis Head was the sixth man to go, and he was out after scoring 9. Bowled by Vian Mulder, played on and he was out. Then the seventh wicket at 73. Pat Cummins, the Australian captain, was out after scoring 6, and he was bowled by Lungi Nigidi. The full length ball and hits his pad and onto the stump. So he was out after scoring just 6 runs. The 8 wicket partnership, yes, the 8 wicket partnership, which turns the table for Australia and brought them back into the game into a commanding position of 61 of 85 balls. Yes, the 8 wicket partnership of 61 runs of 85 balls between Mitchell Starc and Alex Carey. Alex Carey contributed 41 of 46, while Mitchell Starc played an intelligent role, stayed at the wicket, and scored 13 of 39 balls. The 61 runs partnership from 73 to 7 took Australia to 134, and the lead reached to 200 mark. They lost the 8 wicket of Alex Carey in the 39th over at 134, and he was legged before by Kagiso Rabada for 43 of 50 balls, hitting 5 fours. So Australia at close of second day's play were 144 for 8, with Mitchell Starc batting on 16 from 47 balls and Nathan Lyon on 1. Australia now has an overall lead of 218 runs with 2 wickets in hand. Looking at the South African bowling, Kagiso Rabada 11 overs, 44 runs and 3 wickets. Marco Jansen, 12 overs, 3 made in 31 runs and 1 wicket. Vian Mulder, 6 overs, 14 runs and 1 wicket. While Lungi Nigidi, 9 overs, 35 runs and 3 wicket. And Keshav Maharaj also bowled 2 overs and gave away 10 runs. So the summary of the match so far, Australia in the first inning were 212. And in reply, South Africa were bowled out for 138. Australia took 74 runs first inning lead, and capitalizing on that lead, they made 144 for the loss of 8 wicket and took their lead to 218 with 2 wickets still in hand. For 2 hours in the middle of day 2, Australia had one hand on the World Test Championship maze after taking a 74 runs first inning lead at Lord. For the next 2, South Africa did their utmost to prise their fingers from it. And for the one after that, Alex Carey and Mitchell Starc fought them off with a 61-run 8-wicket partnership. As things stand, Australia still have few fingers on the mace after a gripping day of Test cricket. It was once again a day of bowlers. 14 wickets fell on day 2, the same number as the first day, for a total of 28 wickets in 6 sessions. With things stands at the end of day is that South Africa will already have to pull off 4th highest successful chase at Lord's and do it against Australia unrelenting attack. That means it's probably still advantage Australia after breathless 7.5 hours in the final that has hit fast forward. Both the team have major collapse. Australia lost its last 5 wickets in the first inning for just 20 runs, and South Africa lost their last 5 wickets for 12 runs in just 35 balls. Australia go into the third day with a lead of 218 runs with 2 wickets in hand. And on this note, we come to the end of our show. Till the next program, it's goodbye from Sports 360.
Keep on watching Sports 360 with Ahmed Hamad for latest news, views, and interviews of sports personalities from around the world.